Welcome to Vedakarna. Today, we'll be exploring Employee Workforce Dashboard, designed to provide a clear and detailed overview of workforce metrics and performance. Here's a quick overview of the dashboard. At the top, we have the Key Metrics section, displaying total employees, active employees, and inactive employees, providing a clear snapshot of the workforce's current status. On the left side, we showcase the top 10 highest paid employees, highlighting top earners. Moving to the center right, the employee age distribution chart breaks down the workforce by age groups and gender. Next to it, a pie chart for employee count by department illustrates how employees are distributed across various departments. To the right, an average years of service analysis chart compares years of service by job role and gender, providing valuable insights into employee retention and tenure. On the bottom left, we see the exit count by age and gender chart, which highlights attrition trends. Finally, the exit count by gender and department line chart on the bottom right pinpoints specific departments with higher attrition rates. That's a quick overview of this visually impactful dashboard. Now let's dive into the step-by-step process of creating it from scratch using Excel. Let's start by preparing the data. First, rename the worksheet as Data. Then, go to the Home ribbon and click on Format as Table. Select any one table design. Next, we'll apply the Freeze Top Row option. The header row will remain visible. Remove grid lines for a cleaner view by deselecting the Grid Lines option under the View tab. Next, we'll add 2 calculated columns for years of experience and age group. For the year column, we'll use an if formula to calculate the years of experience from the exit and hire date. Here's how it works. Next, for the age group column, we'll create an if function to categorize the ages into groups. Here's the formula. Next, we will create table for key metrics. Go to the Insert tab, select Pivot Table, and choose the table range. For the first graph, I'll create a comparison of active versus inactive employees. I'll drag the status field into the rows and the employee count field into the values. This gives us a count of active and inactive employees. Remove grid lines. Then, link the values to the pivot table using the Get Pivot Data function. And update the Item 1 cell reference accordingly. Next column. Active values are divided by the grand total. Convert into percentage to make the pivot table cleaner. To give header like active versus inactive employees. Copy the first pivot table and paste it top 10 highest paid employees. Drag the full name field to the rows area. Drag the sum of annual salary field to the values area and sort the values in descending order of sum of annual. Apply a value filter to display the top 10 paid employees. Apply $ and decrease all decimal values. Set the filters to show active employees. Uncheck AutoFit. Next, pivot table. Employee age distribution. Drag age group to the rows area. Drag gender to the columns area. Employee ID to the values area, set to count. Set the filters to show active employees. Remove grand total. Let's begin by adding the following headers to our table: age, X, male, center, female, and Y. Age group. We'll pull the age group data from pivot table. Male values. We'll pull the male data from pivot table. Female values. Similarly, we'll pull the female data from the pivot table. X values. For the first column, we'll calculate the difference between the maximum value in the data range and each individual value. Y values. Finally, calculate the difference between the maximum value and each female value for the last column. Center values. For this column, we'll input a constant value, such as 30 for all rows. Apply borders for the table view. Next, pivot table. Employee count by department. Drag status to the filters. Drag department to the rows area. Set the filters to show active employees. To make the pivot table cleaner. Next, pivot table. Average years of service by job role. To make the pivot table cleaner. Drag job title to the rows area. Drag gender to the columns area. Set to average. Remove grand total. Format the values to 1 decimal point. Next, pivot table. Exit count age group by gender. Drag age group to the rows area and gender to the columns area. Drag exit date to the values area. Remove filters to show all employees. Next, pivot table. Gender to the columns area. Drag department to the rows area. Exit date to the values area. Rename the table header Exit Count Department by Gender. to make the pivot table cleaner. Let's move on to designing the dashboard layout. Add a new sheet, rename the sheet to Dashboard for clarity. In the View menu, uncheck Grid Lines for a clean workspace. Insert a background shape and choose a rectangular shape. Drag and resize the shape. Remove the outline and add a shadow effect for a polished look. Designing the dashboard header framework. Use additional shapes. Repeat this for a consistent theme, and align it. Copy and paste it. Adding dashboard icon, refresh icon, and zoom icon. Align it. Insert a text box and type Employee Workforce Dashboard. Format style it with a bold Calibri font, size 36, and the font color white, and align it. For each section, Shapes dot, place the text box at the top in Key Metrics. Set No Fill and No Outline. Then give name like Total Employees. Adjust the font size, color, and alignment. Active employees. Inactive employees. Each key metric section, insert a donut charts using pivot for values. Go to Pivot Table, select Table, insert a donut chart. Cut and paste it into Dashboard Sheet. Set No Fill and No Outline. Align it neatly under the Key Metric section. Next below, let's add total values. Insert the box equals and link them to the pivot table values. Adjust the font size, color, and alignment. Follow the steps each key metrics. For active employees, for inactive employees, add the percentage of active employees and inactive employees. It's time to add the charts. Using the data from the pivot tables, for top 10 highest paid employees, insert a clustered bar chart. Remove unnecessary elements like headers and grid lines. Click Axis. Go to Axis Options. Click on that categories in reverse order under Axis Position, then align it. No shape fill and no shape outline. Add labels. Set gap width size 32%. Adjust the font size, color. Title name, top 10 highest paid employees. Adjust the font size, color. Next, employees' age group distribution. Insert the stacked bar graph. Move into dashboard sheet formatted. Remove unnecessary elements like headers, axis, and grid lines. No shape fill and no shape outline. Align it within the dashboard shape. No shape fill and no shape outline. Set gap width 10%. In the center, no shape fill and no shape outline. Add data labels. In the center of the chart, to more data label options and enable the category name option. Categorized by age group. adjust the font size, color. Next, add icons to represent male and female categories for better visualization. Then, insert a text box to display the total number of males and females. Let's give a title Employees Age Group Distribution. Next, top employees count by department. Insert a pie chart. Remove unnecessary elements like headers and grid lines. Align it. Add labels. Title name Employees count by department. Next, average years of service by gender. Insert a stacked bar chart. Remove unnecessary elements like headers and grid lines. Align it within the dashboard shape. Set gap width size 40%. Add data labels, adjust the font size, color. No shape fill and no shape outline. Title name average years of service by gender. Next, exit count by age group and gender. Insert a clustered column chart. Remove unnecessary elements like headers and grid lines. Align it within the dashboard shape. Add data labels, adjust the font size. Set gap width size 80%. No shape fill and no shape outline. Title name exit count by age group and gender. Next, exit count by gender and department. Insert a line chart. Remove unnecessary elements like headers and grid lines. Align it within the dashboard shape. Add a data labels, adjust the font size, color. Labels option set below. Set line width 3. No shape fill and no shape outline. Title, name exit count by gender and department. Let's. Adding slicers. Go back to the pivot table, go to Insert then Slicer and select Business. Cut and paste the slicers into the dashboard. Resize and position them neatly. Format the slicers. Use consistent colors matching the chart color scheme. Remove borders for a clean look. Resize and position them neatly. Click Hide Items with no data. Right-click the slicer. Select Report Connections. Check all the pivot tables linked to the slicer. Now our slicer setup is complete. Let's assign Zoom Macro for dashboard icon and assign Macro Data Refresh icon. Adjust the view by clicking the zoom buttons for a full screen or click again for zoomed out. Refresh icon when clicked. It will refresh all the data. That completes the Employee Workforce dashboard. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more tutorials.